So with that said, though, let me introduce my next guest. His name is BenjaminZulu. He's a psychologist, and he's here to talk with us about what the pandemic has actually taught us. Karibu sana to the show, Benjamin.
Asante, good morning.
You're well. How's your weekend?
I'm good, and I'm excited.
Good, good. Glad to have you
I have a chance
here.
to answer questions I hear every day.
Oh, good, good. So, of course, with the coronavirus, just shaking everything up in this country, life has dramatically changed. And I think there are those people who are sort of going through this season like, maisha ni maisha too, like whatever comes, whatever happens. But there are others who are like, what am I supposed to be learning in this season? Is there a skill that I can build? Is there something else that I can do? Or those who are just really trying to reflect and spend the time trying to learn something about themselves, about their relationships, about their country, about anything, really. And so we want to discuss that now. Then, how do we actually figure out what we are learning in the midst of such chaos?
Now, Joyce, let's start here. We need to know that individually, I want to approach it from an individual journey, an individual personality, a personal development journey. Let's start by saying that it's not Corona that would determine. It's not the lockdown or the pandemic that will determine how people will end up at the end of it. The same hot water that softens the tomato will harden the egg. Sometimes when there's pressure, when there's lockdown, when there's lockdown or things recession, it's not what is happening outside that would determine how you come out. WhatsApp was invented during a recession in the US. And today is one of the most widespread, most used app. What's happening now in your journey to success? Our viewers, all of us are trying to achieve financial independence. You're trying to achieve personal power. You're trying to achieve certain goals, your bigger goals in life you're trying to achieve. There is no bigger opportunity, Joyce, than this one. I've been amazed in the last few days. I went to several restaurants trying to catch up with a friend over a cup of coffee, and people are serving us with a mask, or they're wearing the mask with the nose out. And I couldn't understand it. Actually, there are several. I bounced 3 different restaurants in town, just asking them, how can you carry tea for me, breathing down on it, and you want me to take it? Yeah. you have a mask, but you're wearing it poorly. What's the point? I learned several things that I've been talking to my friends. I told them, number one, this pandemic is showing how careless people are. And if you wanted to achieve in life, this is a time to distinguish yourself.
Right.
And people walk around saying, I want to be my own boss, being your own boss. How can you be your own boss when you can't supervise yourself on a small discipline, like putting on a mask properly? Risking your own life and that of others over a small thing, surely, that is costing 30 shillings. I've been screaming this, telling young people, the problem in Kenya is not joblessness, it's lack of work ethic. It's lack of work ethic, lack of personal discipline, lack of creativity. There are people who are still arguing that it's Corona. Yet doctors are dying trying to treat it. You still have fools out there saying, I don't believe in it. I have changed barbershops myself. Actually, this time has taught me, I need to deal with, I don't need to deal with. I told that the manager of the barbershop, I went to another one, and I told her a few things. I told her, now people are moving, looking for serious people to work with. A person like me, I have so much going on. If I get infected, my life I'll lose so much. I told her, some of the people working here have very little to lose, apart from their own stomach. Have nothing else. They're working, they only live for today.
Right.
If you are aiming to grow your business, live to the standards. In fact, Joyce, those who are running businesses now, this is a time to distinguish themselves, because people are changing from salons. I'm sure now even you are very careful who is attending you. If you realize they're not careful, I think you're not in my league. Because if both of us we get Corona, I'll lose more than you. You calculate how much you stand to lose. So this is a chance, Joyce, for young people to distinguish themselves. Let's stop complaining there are no jobs. Joyce, you have seen many people who have done better during this lockdown.
That's right.
They have bought by higher cars, opened other branches, actually adapted and gone to a different direction. Some guys wanted to start businesses. Now that the job is unstable, they went on to it. There are people now who started supplying Wi-Fi, others supplying the masks, and others started manufacturing. Guys have gone up. Only the unintelligent, only those who are not informed think everybody is going down. No, it's the economy has changed. People are still buying clothes. People are still getting their hair done. People are still buying makeup. It's only that they changed where they're buying from.
Right.
They just changed who they're dealing with. So the thing now, for me, this is the best blessing for those people who wanted to distinguish themselves. When things were normal, competition was fierce.
Yeah.
Now that things are not normal, I saw the quote somebody said, When you look right and nothing is left, then you look left and nothing is right. Now you know even both what was right and what was left were blessings.
Wow.
I want to ask us to see this as a blessing.
Yeah.
What is right and what is wrong? What is not expected? What is expected? I said when this thing started, I was telling my people we were working with that. Now this is the time those who have been conversing faith, those who have been mentioning God to stand out. If your faith doesn't make you shine now, forget it. In fact, you are the one who makes God to be ashamed. Unaibisha Mungu. Where are you going down and there's no corona in heaven? If surely your supervisor is not affected by the lockdown, why are you affected so much yourself? You should adapt to what is going on, but keep on advancing. And I keep on asking, do you think your life will be added by 1 year because the 1 year you are down because of corona?
I really love what you said, though, about work ethic, because I think even we had King Kaka here on the show, and he even said himself that part of his trouble, even when he looks to young people, is that there's this sense of entitlement. Entitlement that, you know, tunafaa tupewe kazi, tunafaa tupewe unga, tunafaa this, tunafaa that, tunafaa whatnot. And indeed, as you're saying, the people who are thriving right now, they're not sleeping, they're working. They're not waking up at 1 p.m.
Thank you for bringing that up. Do you know the other day, a friend was hiring and he asked me to help them in evaluating who to hire. And they were, most of the applications had come through Facebook and Instagram using the online things, the virtual things. So we started making the calls at around 10 minutes to 8. I told them, many people, let's use official hours 8. But you know, even 8, many people are asleep. And he was trying to disqualify everybody he finds asleep. And I was telling him, some people now don't have work to go tomorrow. Others are working online, they're working at night. So some are waking up. But we say job seekers in particular should have discipline in their lives. When you have achieved some financial comfort, you can afford to work the times you work at night, sleeping through the day. When you have achieved, when you're in charge of your finances, you have freedom. Right. But if you are job seeking, how are you sleeping at 8:30? And you're calling you and you can't even pick. Others, the number is off. Others are receiving, Ninani. And yet you applied and gave us this number. I said there's so much lack of, and Joyce, let's share some blame to our education system. And I want to inform all of us that we were taught Avogadro's law.
Do you want?
We were taught things from I don't know where that have no applicability to the life as we live it. So far, I don't know where you have managed to use your calculus for. I don't know how that helps you today. I wish we were told the basic work ethic that can give you advantage in the workplace. And
let's very quickly talk about what that work ethic is, especially in a season like this one, where now things are moving. You see, it's not about how you look anymore.
Thank you.
It's not about your charisma, because what are to only they're not seeing us, right?
Yes.
So how do we then translate that work ethic in this digital age, in this work from home age, in this very detached? You know what I mean? Because before, I think someone could look at you, they just like your appearance, they like your charisma.
Yes, right.
But now those things don't matter. And for the ones who've been relying on those, you're kind of in trouble right now.
Let's start here. First of all, get a working phone and always be on during working hours. There's a lot of foolishness I've seen. Calling somebody's mteja, working hours, and you applied for the job. How can you miss an opportunity simply because you are off? And just you might have seen, when you work with those people especially the grounds people, the people who do manual things down here, they like being elusive. You pay them, and the number you are calling is not going through anymore, and they were working on something for you. Even a mechanic, sometimes getting a simple person. So your number, charging. Make sure your phone is working, because today now connectivity is very virtual. The other thing is, be aggressive in applying online. I checked so many people because I posted telling them how to apply for jobs using online. Some are saying, I thought the hours come. I thought the world is going virtual. This pandemic is teaching us that the world is from being physical now to virtual. In fact, people will hire you and ask you to develop the app they wanted for them from wherever you are and send it to them. So have a phone that is working. The other thing is, please discipline your sleeping hours. Stop sleeping at 2 a.m. and waking up at 11 a.m. unless you have your own enterprise.
Yeah.
If
you are a job seeker,
if you are a job seeker, wake up. Stop watching movies all the way to morning. Discipline, sleep early so that you can wake up early. Actually, all great people use that slogan.
That's
early
right.
to bed, early to rise.
Early bird catches the worm.
So discipline your sleeping hours. Be in charge of your program. When you wake up in the morning, start by calibrating your day. Think about the schedules that day. Probably say some prayer. Probably meditate. Think, refreshing your schedule. Attack the day with energy. Don't start slowly waking up at 10 and then you're not even in charge. I'm not sure. I'll talk to you.
We have to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with BenjaminZulu. What has the pandemic taught us? I'd love to hear from you guys as well. What are some of the lessons that you guys are learning? Double, two, triple. I mean, I'll tell you one of mine. There are people who can make money whether it's raining or it's sun shining or there's a storm, and I want to be one of them. Okay, so just because things are hard doesn't mean everybody is suffering. So
That's right.
that's the other thing, you know, stay woke, guys. People are still thriving and living in their lives. But 22999 is the SMS line, also on Facebook at Switch TV Kenya, and we'll be back with Benjamin after this. Hey guys, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. I'm here with BenjaminZulu, having a very interesting discussion today about what this pandemic has taught us. And I just love what he's saying about work ethic, because if you're a job seeker, you should not be sleeping at I don't know which hour of the night that you're watching movies and then you wake up late. It's quite a shame though, actually, if you're saying people are calling you for a job and your phone is off,
And you know, your
or you're
attitude
asleep. That's
is
not good.
Your attitude is the prophet for what you shall become. I've seen many at workplace, and I've talked to many employers. They tell me these people are so unreliable. When you pay them, I ask them, why are you paying these guys on 10th? Why did you pay them on 29th, 30th? Tell me, if I pay them, they won't come back. I pay them on 10th because they already have other days to make them stay.
Oh no.
For that month.
Oh no.
So I think work ethic has a little thing, a big thing to do with it. And we have said the best thing now for you who is listening to us, this lockdown, this recession has given you a chance to stand out by simply being disciplined.
Yeah.
Wear the mask every time, show at work on time, have a phone working, and on Facebook, put your photo. Stop putting cats and dogs. You're applying job, and the thing that is showing there is a cat looking at you.
I'm a weird clip from a music video. People check your Facebook nowadays,
And
your
please
social
also
media when you're getting a job.
Call yourself a decent name.
Yeah.
Call yourself a decent name. Stop calling yourself sweet girl. I'm not interested in your sweetness. Can you write Magdalene? So that I can say, hi, Magdalene. I can't want to, hi, darling. You're not my darling. Why are you calling yourself a darling? So some freedom, some nasty things. You're not, because now we are applying things online. Your social media or Instagram profile is your tool of trade. It's not just a private space now.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Speaking of still sort of learning to value things properly, in this season, let's talk about the cost of living versus the cost of lifestyle. I think hapo watu wamechangamka. Kumbe we can live on less money.
Thank you. Actually, we thought it was cost of living that was high, but you realize that your lifestyle also adds to the problems.
Right.
Can you live within your means? Yeah. You don't need a 4-bedroom house if you're only 2 of you in the house, just to say among your peers that I live in a 4-bedroom house in Runda. And then all your money, and you have taken mortgage to the last coin just to prove something. Be comfortable with the seasons of your life. When these things started, there are guys who adjusted quickly, but others refused to adjust because they hate to be seen like they are not living up to certain class. In fact, Joyce, if your friends, if your social circle keeps pressuring you to live up to something you're not comfortable with, this is the time to change.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see a riding party on weekends. They are on motorbikes, loud motorbikes. A group of them, they're just going on a ride. You know, they're enjoying. That's a good place if you're comfortable at that pace. But you should not squeeze to borrow everywhere. Squeeze too much to get that motorbike, you know, just to be among a group. And that is not what your season requires. There's something else I need to mention that. I've noticed that our value, we don't value work as Kenyans. We just value being given.
Preach.
You know, we value being given, and we have a huge sense of entitlement and a lazy mentality. Like it's Isaac Newton who said, I can measure the speed of stars, but I can't measure the stupidity of humanity. I have seen so much foolishness, and I'm wondering, where is this coming from? Wow. People hear you talk in the captain inbox, please give me that, employ me, give me that. I'm wondering, and who are you again?
Right.
Everybody in this world is trying to solve their problem.
Right.
Whether it is wealthy or all of us have always, can you offer me something? I can serve ABCD, these are my colleagues. If you have a chance, I can work there. Some people just think they should be given. And you know, majority of us in Kenya are young people. I wanted to announce something. I have seen a group that is very admirable. The Kenyans in diaspora, the Kenyans in UK, Australia, America. When I talk to them, they talk about hours and minutes and work. Their values are very different. But Kenyans here, I don't know why. I want to ask all Kenyans who can go abroad. Please go abroad, even if for 2 days and come back. Go get a different exposure.
Yeah.
There they are very loyal. Here we are not punctual with the time. Part of the work ethic is time. You tell Kenyan we meet 1, they're showing up at 3. Unjua nilishikwa na jam. Jam in Nairobi haikuanza jana. You're supposed to know there's traffic and calculate for it.
Yeah.
So I want to ask us to adopt and embrace the fact that you are on your own in this world. It's you to work for your well-being. And if you are 22, 25 and above and you're still living in your parents' house and you're still blaming them for things they're not doing for you, the ball has shifted to you. It's you now, you should be living on your own. Better to team up with 2 of your friends. Go live somewhere. Hustle to pay rent so that you can taste it. I sometimes I wonder, I've seen many people now, they're just selling the masks. And I feel so, sometimes I buy to support the seller. Just, I see a guy being ladies. Sometimes I feel when I see a lady driving a car, driving a matatu, being the conductor. A lady can't run after the vehicle. They just board kama sisi ndio itoke. And I enjoy it. I feel like, go at it, girl, go at it.
Yeah.
It's better you is doing something to earn for yourself.
Right.
Kuliko this other sukari. The one is not, there are 2 beggars, but one is okay. And any deformity. Mwingine ni blind. Alafu amemshika na mzungusha huku. Give me some money. I feel like, where did I get the money myself? So that I can give you. Can you sell me a handkerchief? Sell njugu karanga. Sell something for me to buy.
Yeah.
You don't just sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that brings us to another important lesson that all of us should be learning, where we've had to think about these words, resilience and adaptability. Because some of us are so set in our ways. We're like, but even ndio vile tulikuwa tunazifanya. I'm like, madam, sir, things have changed. Nothing is the way that it used to be.
Stephen Hawking was lauded as a genius. The late Stephen Hawking. But he said, intelligence is ability to adapt to new circumstances. There's no point of saying you scored first class honors, you scored the bright, and just let me warn some of us who have young boys, young girls. Let's stop clapping at them for getting 400, coming and bound to class. We should teach them adaptability. When you are disappointed by circumstances, handling stress. So we need to learn that it's not about now being bright, being number 1. It's about being able to adapt to new circumstances. Work environment has changed. You are no longer going to the routine you used to go. Can you adapt to new things without being frustrated, without collapsing? That is the survival language today. The survival language kitambo used to be how much you, ati nimeongezewa salary, nimeongezewa hii na hii. No, right now is the ability to adopt, to exercise hygiene, high hygiene, to be sensitive about small things, to be sensitive about the new schedules. We are uncertain. We don't know whether they will lock again or they will not lock again.
Right.
We don't know whether the numbers, how they are behaving.
Yeah.
But right now, the person who will survive is one who is fluid, adaptable, and has a softness, and yet they are still resilient. So you need to be hard driven. You are saying, I'm not quitting whatever circumstances. At the same time, you are saying, I'm flexible. I'll take a new shape if the circumstances require it. I think that's what we don't have. So I like the way you put it, like our lifestyle sometimes can pressure us. So you need to be adaptable and lie low. Wait for the grass to grow. Hide a little bit for a moment. Say there's some things I'll not do now. I'll lie low a little bit. I'll not look for golfing. I'll not do things I used to do. I'll give it a time until I come back to my feet.
Yeah, and especially for the ones who've sort of been on the go a lot. Because remember, tumesema kuna wale wamelala sana, lazima muamke. But then there are those who were too much on the go. And maybe this whole pandemic has also taught them the need to slow down, reconnect with your loved ones, figure out your children's names. You know what I mean? Like, just be there for your family.
One girl had a birthday and the mom wished the birthday, oh my girl, happy 20th birthday. Oh, now you are no longer teenager. And the dad says, happy 19th birthday. The girl says, I'm 20. He replies, okay. So it's true, some of us had lost track with our children.
Yeah.
It's time now to rebalance, to be rebalanced. And I want to ask those of us who are afraid that I might lose my job. Ama, I've been cut. One of the professors was complaining that they have been salary from 250K to 91K. The one they're telling that, they've never earned even that 91. They're saying, look at you, how sad you are for being dropped from 250 to 91. I've been living on 21. So it's not just the fear that you might lose money, but the adaptability. What can I do differently this time? Because the economy has not stopped. People are still living. The economy has just changed shape. I saw one guy selling his car. I told him, hey, man, I'm stepping up now. I'm buying a bigger car. And I admired that. Even during this pandemic, people are selling, people are moving. only that they are resilient in a different manner. People are still constructing. Houses are going up. Construction industry is still running. Guys are still selling cement. Guys are still doing things. Only that now they could not transport it maybe frequently as they could. So they got other sources. They got a way of sending parcel. The prices might have varied, but people are still buying.
Yeah.
So the point is, stop buying this idea, I'm waiting for Corona. Some people you have had, nitakuongelesha after Corona. Who told you Corona will go in one day? What if it goes, it takes a year up, down, sometimes slowly. If you wait for it to go, you might never wake up.
Well, let's talk then about the ones who are earning that 21K or 30K or even less than. Maybe they're not even earning anything at all. And so perhaps they're even looking at us now and they're like, Benjamin, Joyce, you guys don't even get it. This conversation is not even relevant to us right now. How can we sort of encourage them that it still is relevant to them?
That's a very important question. In case you're in that place where you feel like you're at rock bottom, part of what happens that we saw some landlords who eased on tenants, but not all of them, just a small minority. This is a time to think outside the box. If you travel up country, and maybe you can reorganize yourself from there, if that can work for you, do it. But the thing we are saying is, do not despair. If you despair, your mind stops thinking. Your mind stops reasoning. I've seen many people are succumbing under, and I hope one day we're going to talk to artists. Just artists are crashing under depression because there's a name, an aura they created the moment they hit the splash. Then they are not able to sustain it because they're not splashing every day. Money is not coming at that pace every day. It was a peak and then it went down. Then they changed the lifestyle too rapidly over something that was passing. Then they can't afford the lifestyle they started. The rest of us who we are talking about today, we are saying, do not give in to anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
What you need to do is, please roll up your sleeves and do the little thing you can do. In fact, if it's washing clothes, people are still washing clothes. If it's as simple, even if you're a graduate, don't worry. Joyce, I told you I did Boda and I had a degree of law.
Wow.
Boda. So nikabeba mama moja for 30 shillings. And when she learned that I am a degree holder in law, she said, hey, kumekuwa kubaya hivyo. Even herself, she could not believe things were that bad.
Yeah.
For me, I was gathering my money to go for masters. I was trying to do anything to go for masters in counseling. I was trying to change direction. I want to ask us, even those who are asleep, I have sold fruits. Now, you have just made the juice, blended the juice, and cut the fruit, then you want to go vending, then it starts raining. If it starts raining, people don't eat fruits because it's cold. I have been there. I've gone to Majama or Mjengo, and they take the juice in the evening. You sell them at the right price so that musaidiane. I've done that. I've sold mandazi and chai in the morning. You have to know Ministry of Health this side, but wangu imefika wapi, kanjo ndio hii. You have to learn to read people who have no uniform. So I understand those people at the grassroots there. We have lived, 4 of us, in a house of 4,000 and we could not afford it. There's a place we're calling Desperation Corner. You sit there and call everybody, send me 100, send me 200.
Wow.
It's called Desperation. I've been there. And I want to ask the formula for surviving when things are bad is don't give in to depression. Don't give in to despair. Keep on thinking. The funny thing is, because we kept on hoping and believing and trying, God always came through. I can assure there's one person who never abandons people. His name is God.
Wow, I love that. And I think that's important for us to also look at, that sometimes these challenges that we have, there are lessons that you learned when you were riding that boda, when you were selling fruits, when you were doing whatever. I live my life trying and just reminding myself that, God is very intentional.
That's right.
And nothing just happens.
That's right.
Everything happens for a reason.
In fact.
And whatever you've been through in your life then has contributed in some way to who you are today.
And he said you'll walk through the valley of shadow of death. Shadow, you can't see the death, but you can see the shadow. You can feel. And he says 1,000 will follow at your right hand. You see others falling. You see them falling. You're walking on water like Peter. Don't look at the storm. Fix on the Savior. So part of what I want to ask people is, if you have a journey and you trust God, don't quit. Faith should be the last thing you give. In fact, I tell people I'll die before I give up my faith.
Wow.
I'll give up my life before I give up my faith.
Wow.
I want to keep believing. In the face of death itself, I'll say God will judge. If you read Revelation, God will kill death itself. So this death is not bigger than my God. I want to ask those of us who are pressed by circumstances, do not resort to despair and bitterness. Do not give in to it. Do like Naomi. Naomi had lost her husband and the 2 sons. And the last daughter-in-law had gone. The one had clung. She came back and she said, call me Mara. Mara means bitter. Naomi means pleasant. Stop calling me pleasant. Call me bitter. I don't think God has been. But she kept on going. She did not quit and start killing herself. I want to ask you, even if you feel like life is tough, keep on going like Naomi.
Yeah.
She didn't know that she was being prepared to be in the lineage of Messiah himself. Right. Sometimes what we're being prepared for is not visible. But I want to ask you, keep on going. Cry, but go. Cry as you go. Somebody said, kama ambulance, lia ukiendaga. Usilie kama umesimama. I want to ask you, despite crawl. I saw one lady who was doing a marathon and then she broke her leg. She was in a relay. But she said, although the legs, she crawled to go give the baton to her friend so the race can go on. I want to ask you, if you have a child who is looking up to you, do not drop the baton. If you have a generation looking up to you, do not drop the baton. We do not underestimate how bad things are. Today, when you see a person who looks more dignified than the job they're doing, simply selling sweets, simply saying, and she looks better than that. I know one lady who she's doing well, and then the family broke down when the lockdown was also coming. The husband left, and now she has children. And now she's selling the surgical masks, and I encourage that, go on, believe in trying, and things will work out.
And I think that also is a good point to speak to. There is a group of people in our country that, because maybe for them wanaona hiyo kazi is too low for them or something, they're very quick to knock somebody else who is actually trying to hustle. And I just want to say to you, like, seriously, if you're that person, just zip it.
Shida moja ya degree. One problem with being a graduate is that they deceive you that now you have class. There are things now you are above. You should not push a wheelbarrow. You should not push a cart. You should not brush people's shoes. That's a lie. I told you I had a degree of law and I sold tea and mandazi in the morning. I did boda. I sold sweets in a vehicle. Lollipop. Hi, lollipop. In a bus. Lollipops. I was willing to do literally anything. Sometimes God is testing to see how badly you want it.
Right.
After I did all that, somebody came up to pay fees for me. It's like God wanted to see how much I wanted to do. Some of this
and that you'd be a steward of it.
Some of this is a test. It's not supposed to kill you, supposed to train you. Today when I see somebody, I buy things I don't need to promote the seller.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to ask, and those of us who have been there, when I don't bargain boda guys, sometimes I just tip them. I've been there. When I see people selling tropicals, just give them 50 bucks, give me 4 of them, thank you. I just say thank you, keep it up. And they feel somebody has seen them. Sometimes God is passing you through there so that you can connect with everybody who goes through it. Please don't let your degree or anything give you class. In fact, masks are helping you to hide your identity. Wear a mask and go do those dirty things.
And don't knock somebody else's hustle. Especially if you're sitting there, you're not doing anything yourselves. Like, don't knock somebody else's hustle.
You know, in fact, do not look down. Don't even discourage anyone.
Yeah.
Let them. That's a part of their journey. The best thing about it is, whatever dirty the work you're doing, you know this is not your life. It's only a stepping stone. For me, I was always comforted. In fact, I always had my earphone listening to messages that was telling me this was a journey. This is just a journey. And hearing no, this time I was selling those sweets to sellers. And it's very heavy. And you're selling the packet that some of them answer you in a very bad way. You hear 20 no's, but you keep on going. I think I was being prepared for this. I have zungushed until the beggar itself, the shoulder is painful. At the end of the day, you're so tired and you made it 200 shillings. Then you buy sukuma 20 bob and you buy that bob. And now you have 150 as profit. Now you're trying to calculate rent. I've been there and I want to ask us, in this country, because many of us are young and those who are looking for jobs are more than the jobs themselves.
Right.
Let us be ready to do those menial things, whatever it is. I have done matatu. I've played matatu for a guy with a car. He told me, let's do something, bwana. Niko na gari, come be conductor. So conductor nanga kiti literally. Those ushago things. You have to bend somewhere, hide somewhere. Ingiza mtu and all that. I have done anything. I wanted to ask us to be ready to do anything this season. And those of us who have any job, stop complaining and do not resign. Next time ask me to tell ladies, there's a lady who told me she got a very good job. She's an orphan. She was using it to pay school fees. But then her boss was seducing her, so she quit the job.
There are many ladies like that, though.
I said, oh my God, you don't approach life. Don't quit. Stay until they sack you. Play games, delay, act, but never give in. And again, never quit yourself. Because they'll keep on her. I told her, when you get that job, it can be a blessing from God. But that guy is sent by Satan to frustrate you. In this life, don't be that soft. You don't win by quitting. Maybe he did not even have power to quit you, to sack you, because he will have to give reasons. If you stayed, you'd still be there. So I want to ask us also who are considering quitting, think twice.
Wow.
Don't quit at this season. Better to stay until you have somewhere else to stand.
Wow. Lots of lessons certainly from this season. And I think the wiser ones of us will be the ones trying to grab as many of them. That doesn't mean be, king of the universe tomorrow. But it means to keep learning.
That's
always be a student. is the thing I would
That's
say.
right.
Always be a student. Always be ready to learn something new, to hear from someone's experience. Usijifanya ati unajua kila kitu, because you'll be the first one to fall down.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Benjamin, for coming. I think this has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
Great way to start a Monday. Hopefully metia watu motisha pia.
Very
You
good.
know,
Can I
as
mention?
they charge through the week. Yeah, go ahead.
BenjaminZulu KE, all my social media platforms, BenjaminZulu KE, Gmail, BenjaminZulu KE at Gmail, website BenjaminZuluKE.com. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, with that said, guys, we're going to take a break now as we get ready for our final segment of the day. Coming up next, we have the Nifunze e-learning platform with teacher Steve Biko. Stay tuned.